O slacheo. Ti pud wheat ill, the time of the falling leaves. It's the 1st of October. You will now see some new signs out and about later today. This is our phrase for pud wheat ill, our phrase for October. This is balitz cho. Balitz cho. Balitz cho. Balitz cho. We don't have a word for you're welcome. We have a word for tigwitseed, thank you. We do not have a word for you're welcome. We just, like the humble way of balitz cho. Balitz cho. Forget about it. It literally means you forget about it. You forget. So forget about it. No big deal. No big deal. So if somebody says tigwitseed, they say that to you, you could say balitz cho. Balitz cho. So this is our newest phrase that will be posted around the res. It's also in the calendar. I know we're in October, but if anybody wants a calendar, we have calendars at the front of the office that has all of the phrases that are posted around the res. There's another phrase that you could use. This is the easier one to say. So you might hear some staff members say, at twalatsa, at twalatsa, which means it's nothing to me. But you could also use that one in a negative manner. And it's harder to say, so we like balitz cho. Balitz cho. For those who are tuning in via the live stream, if you haven't already emailed me, you can email me at ngobin@tulaliptribes-nsn.gov if you would like the handouts. We have a lot of handouts today. It may have been overwhelming when you looked at it, or as Joy is looking at it now. We're going over sounds, so we're going to add a couple more letters to our sound practices. And then you guys might already have these from last year, but we also, I'm going to do those handouts where we were having our verb list and writing the phonetics. So we might not be able to go over those today, but we will hand those out so everyone can start building your own little vocab list. So let's start out with, oh, that sounds horrible. Remember, this building is really, really old. It often likes to talk back to us. We are going to go over the X letter. Do you want to?
No, it's fine.
Some of the X letters. Some of these sounds. So we're going to start over here. The first sound, we have talked about this one already. The X raised W, when we have that little W, that's a reminder to round our lips. So this first sound, the X raised W, the next X letter that we have, that little wedge, just like the S wedge and the C wedge, that little wedge on the X, you notice that it's like kind of tucked into the X right there. One of the ways that we've explained that letter is if you think about getting something stuck in your throat, if you're trying to clear your throat, that's a sound that you're going to make for the X wedge. It's a making that sound is also a really good reminder that when we're learning these letters, we have to retrain ourselves to awaken Lushootseed. So we have to overdo it. When we're enunciating these, we are exaggerating these sounds big time so we can train our ears to hear them and train our mouths to say them. So the X wedge. We can also combine these sounds for an X wedge raised W. So we're combining this sound while rounding our lips. All right. For this sound chart, we're starting out with the vowels. A, E, A, O, U. Starting out with X raised W, the sound like you're blowing out a candle. Yahao. Hua, hua, hui, hui, huo, woo. X wedge, like you're clearing your throat. Yahao. Ha, ha, chi, he, ho, hu. Combining those two sounds together, the X wedge raised W. Yahao. Hua, hua, hui, hui, huo, hu. And now we're going to alternate using some of those X letters. Yahao. Hua, hua, hi, hui, huo, hu. That one is nice and challenging. Okay. So for these letters, to match these up with some of our words. Oh, I feel very connected to this word right now. Huaquil. 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 So for that X raised W, huaquil. Huaquil. Who knows what us huaquil is? Tired. Shakachib, if you are us huaquil, raise your hand if you're tired. I know I'm not the only one. For the X wedge, that sound. Hush. 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 This right here is a perfect example to talk about the schwa, that sound. Our language naturally has a lot of consonants next to each other. When the language was being documented with the help of Tom Hess, who was a linguist for the University of Washington, he noticed, like, wow, your language has so many consonants just built upon each other. So people say that our language is a very guttural. It has all of these sounds that are just deep and unique compared to English. Tom noticed that when the consonants were next to each other, it was difficult for other language learners. If this wasn't your first language, it was difficult to try to learn these words and make all of these sounds. So he started inserting a schwa in between some of the consonants so that naturally you do make this sound in between consonants. So he would insert it. When we're learning this, hush, hush, we're saying all of the sounds. The way that our ancestors would have proficiently said the word, they would say hush, hush. So you almost don't see this part. Hush, hush. Same goes for the word chud. We say chud. We're saying that schwa sound. They would have said chud, 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 chud. Like you barely have to move your mouth with the way that they would the way that they would speak, their proficiency in speaking our language. Chash, chash. This is a word for sick. Chash, chash. Now for the X wedge raised W, we have the word chobil. 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 Those who have kids, everybody who was once a kid that may have heard this, we use this one a lot. We say chobela. Chobela. You guys know what that is? Chobela. Chobela. Yep. So there's that X wedge raised W. Chobil. Chobil. Okay, we're going to jump over to this side. And we're going to go over D's and G's. Man, I can totally feel the weather change. Especially today. Like, I know I'm drinking my water, but I'm feeling shaky. What did you just say?
Yeah. I said something to you, but I don't remember what I said. But then I heard you say Tigwitsi, and I'm like, did I say that? Or did I say something else?
Unconsciously, you might have said secrecy. It just is second nature now.
We have the letter D, dada-tu, the word for morning. We also have a D raised Z. We do not have the letter Z standing all by itself, but we have a D raised Z. And that's like the, I guess you could, I think one of the examples that we've given in the past, suds like soap, the suds, that D raised Z sound at the end of that Z. Z. Also sounds like a B. Z. We have the letter G, makes the same sound as in English. We also have a G raised W. So we know that with this raised W, when we see it connected to one of the consonants, we're going to round our lips when we say that. So it changes it from G, G to Gu, Gu, Gu. So we have D, Z, G, Gu. All right, let's go through the sound chart with D's and G's, starting with the vowels, all of us together. A, E, A, O, U. Letter D, yahau. Da, da, di, de, do, do. D raised Z, za, za, z, ze, zo, zoo. Letter G, ga, ga, gi, ge, go, goo. G raised W, rounding your lips, yahau. Gua, gua, gui, gue, guo, guo. And for this one, let's look at some words. So for the letter G, this is a word for tickle, gud gud. Gud gud. Gud gud. G raised W. Here's a couple of words that you guys might hear. Guabid. 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 This means to accompany someone. We have guabid and guihid. Guihid is to invite somebody to come with you. Guabid is to accompany someone. Guat. Guat. This means who. And iguitseed. Iguitseed. The letter D. Dadatu. The word for morning. Dadatu. Quaid. Quaid. This means how many. And then D raised Z. Zeo. Zeo. This means first. Zeo. And Zudzadis. 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 Your teeth. Zudzadis. Some sounds that we will look at that we don't really have a sound chart for. Let me make sure I have the same ones. Okay. We've looked at some of the glottalized sounds. K, glottalized K, glottalized C. Then we have like glottalized K raised W, glottalized C raised W. We also have glottalized L. It's almost equivalent to having a glottal stop right after that L. So instead of dragging that L sound on, it's going to be abrupt. So a glottalized L is equivalent to having a glottal stop right after that. One of the best words for you to hear that at the end of a word, stub-tobble. Stub-tobble. That bolt. Stub-tobble. So instead of saying stub-tobble, where you're kind of naturally dragging on that L sound, stub-tobble. Stub-tobble. This is a word for grizzly bear. Stub-tobble. So I think that's kind of my favorite one, where you get to hear that word coming to a stop. We also have that for the letter W. So we have a glottalized W. We have a regular W. We also have a glottalized W. So that's going to be the same as if you have a glottal stop right after that W sound. I wish I had my dictionary with me, because then I get in these moments where I'm second guessing myself. Iguitseed. Iguitseed. Dun, dun, dun. I'm going to bring up one of Joya's favorite words.
Oh, yeah. Which one is this one?
But then I run into, okay, is it under S or is it under T? Oh, it's not glottalized. See, that's why I looked. I was going to bring up stakayu and stakayu. But it's not a glottalized W. The example that we have for this one Wilsu. 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 So you hear the will, like the difference in the regular W. Wilsu. Wilsu. That's a word for children. Wilsu ati sulad. Wilsu ati sulad. Right next door, Betty J. Taylor Early Learning Academy. They call them the Wilsu ati sulad, the children of the salmon. Wilsu. We also have a glottalized Y. Once again, equivalent to having that glottal stop after that Y sound. Oh, let me borrow that dictionary again. This is another confusing one. It's like I can say it, but can I spell it? Yes. Okay. Diite. 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 This is a word for alone. Diite. Diite. From, we hear this in Lady Louse from Lizzie Christ. Diite. Diite. She was all alone. Diite. So those are the, that glottalized L, glottalized W, glottalized Y. You just hear that, like that abruptness to those sounds. Stubtable, wilsu, diite, diite. Pretty sure I have the same words on this side. Yep, same words. For this one, we can also see it in the middle, where you hear that L bead, L bead, L bead, where you almost hear that pause because you're causing an abrupt stop to that L sound. L bead, L bead. All right. Decisions, decisions. Okay, I don't want to do worksheet overload yet on all of these. So let's have a little bit of fun and let's do the Lushootseed Mad Libs. So we have, on this worksheet, we have verbs, we have nouns, we have adjectives, we have possessives. Hey. So we are going to have a little bit of fun, because hopefully everybody's going to get theirs different. So you do not need to know how to directly translate these, but pick a verb, put it in that first line, pick a noun, put it in the next one. So go through there and add in the words that you want to do for these, and then we can share what people are coming up with, write it up on the board, and then do some translations.
I have bad memory too, so.
Sometimes they genuinely did not make any sense, but we still learned something from it.
Yeah, mine's.
I tried to rush through mine to make sure it didn't make sense.
Some of them make a lot of sense.
Did you finish your roll?
Hmm.
Did you finish your roll? No.
What was I supposed to finish?
Your roll up?
No.
It's the first.
Me neither.
Okay.
It's only middle of the week. We got time.
This
You
is
guys got time.
2 days.
I mean, what I've gathered from this is we don't really have to finish everything, we just have to learn the process. Now, whether or not you want to go for full force like Taylor, to be able to have everything done, that's on you. Like, I've learned the concept, learned the steps. But there's not enough time in the day. Unless we go work at Rediscovery.
Yeah.
Last day of class, I'm gonna go work at Rediscovery. No. Okay. Who wants to pick one to share? Okay. Odessa, you tell me and I'm gonna write it.
Alright. Slathlil, Chess, Alti, Kai Kaialus. Odd. Squabai.
Achada. What does it mean? Okay, so a Slathlil Chush, we live at. What is Kai Kaialus? Blue. Odd Squabite,
Your dog.
your dog. We live at your blue dog. This could mean things. This could mean things. Now, when I was thinking of like having your dog be the noun, I think of the movie Dumb and Dumber. So like if you could say we're driving in your brown dog, like thinking of how they got in that truck or that vehicle that looked like a dog. All right, who wants to do another one?
I can do one.
Okay.
Pick cool. Wadil.
Oh, Sufquadil.
Yeah,
'Kay.
Wadil. Tis Salah.
Okay.
Tis.
Hake,
Yeah.
Sufquadil.
Sakwadil. A. Tis.
Utsi Sala.
Yeah, Atsi Salah.
Okay. Hey, Sufquadil, Utsi Sala. And what is this?
Sarah's big chair.
Sarah's big chair. Yep. This Utsi Sala is the possessive. We know that this is the noun. This belongs to Sarah. This is the adjective. This is describing what the noun is. Okay, Diet Hot. Anyone else? Anyone else? Want to give one a try off your paper?
Well, I did Tlawil, T. Stegwood, T. Hoodaloose. Go by.
Talawil.
Yeah. T.
Oh, yeah, Todd.
Todd.
Todd, sorry. Todd Stegwood. Stogwood? Stegwood. S-T-A.
Which
Or Stegwood? Stegwood.
Slogweed.
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 Slogweed. Slogweed.
Whoops.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did have it with that T.
Okay.
I'm reading mine right.
Talawil Todd Slogweed.
All T. Hoodaloose.
Hodaloose.
Hodaloose. Let's go by.
Joya, is this a dream? Is this a weird dream? Okay, for this, before we even get to this, what is Talawil?
Run.
What is odd possessive?
Your.
What is slogweed?
Bed.
So your bed is what? Is where is it running?
To the orange dog.
On the orange dog. Acha da, Joya. Your dreams are crazy. But yes, notice the word order. This alone can be a sentence. So we can do base sentences, verb, noun. So we can do that. Then we're going to be able to build, like, where was this action taking place? Oh, on the orange dog. Okay. Anyone else? Anyone else? No pressure. We just want to make sure everybody gets comfortable with looking at the grammar on here. If not, then I'm going to pass out some handouts. Let me put actually, for the sake of Brian putting up some graphics, we're going to start with the verbs. So I have a list of verbs, and we're not going to go through this in 5 minutes, but I do want you to add this into all. Do you want this as well? Yeah. I do want you guys to add this into your notebooks, and we can go through these. Some of these are words that we have already learned. Some of them are words that we're going to introduce just to help you build your vocabulary. So we do have the English in one column, and then we're going to be writing down the Lushootseed words. There are some blank spaces, so as we go, we can keep adding some verbs to that. The next one that we have is possessives. Possessives and pronouns. Some of these you've already done them in the work that we're doing. I realize that the pronouns got messed up. Okay. And then the last one that we are going to go over is adding some adjectives to our vocabulary. We have hate. We went over in some of the sentences you guys created today. We had hodalus. We had kaialus. One of my favorite words, meatman, little. So we will go through these word lists, and we will start adding those to your vocabulary as well. So this can be just kind of the cover page, and then if you want to, and if you end up wanting to pick some of those words that you're like, oh, I know I'm going to use these ones, then you can add them to your little index flashcards and start practicing those. I think that's what makes it hard with this class is we're slowly trying to like build our understanding and our comfort with the sounds and start to talk about the grammar. I know that I want to completely jump ahead and give you guys so much content that you feel like you have stuff to use. This helps us minimize that so we can just focus on like a set of verbs that we're going to use and including our adjectives and all of our possessives. All right. That completes everything we were going to go over today. Uhoyov Chach, we are all done. Does anybody in class have any questions?